In the ancient story of David and Goliath, a young shepherd boy, armed with nothing but a sling and unwavering faith, faced down an imposing giant. Against all odds, he emerged victorious, not through brute strength, but through courage, strategy, and belief in something greater than himself. This timeless tale resonates deeply, even today, because it speaks to one universal truth. We all face giants in our lives, obstacles that seem insurmountable, but within each of us lies the potential to overcome them. Imagine Sarah, a 28-year-old software developer, living in a bustling city. She has always dreamed of starting her own tech company, but every time she thinks about taking the leap, fear paralyzes her. Her giant isn't a towering warrior clad in armor. It's self-doubt, financial insecurity, and the overwhelming pressure to succeed in a competitive industry. Like many people, Sarah feels small compared to the challenges ahead. But like David, she possesses untapped strengths waiting to be unleashed. Sarah's journey begins when she decides to confront her fears head-on. Instead of focusing on what she lacks, a massive budget, years of experience, or connections, she zeroes in on what she does have: creativity, resilience, and a passion for solving real-world problems. These qualities become her modern-day sling and stones. Everyone faces their version of Goliath. For some, it might be battling chronic illness, overcoming addiction, or navigating systemic inequality. Others may struggle with imposter syndrome at work, toxic relationships, or the daunting task of pursuing a lifelong dream. What makes this narrative so powerful is its universality. Whether you're religious or secular, the idea of triumphing over adversity strikes a chord deep within us. We've all been David at some point, outmatched, underestimated, yet determined to rise above. When David stepped onto the battlefield, he wasn't blind to Goliath's size or reputation. He simply chose courage over fear. In today's world, this translates to taking calculated risks despite uncertainty. Maybe it's applying for a job you feel underqualified for, speaking up against injustice, or leaving a comfortable but unfulfilling situation. Courage doesn't mean being fearless, it means acting in spite of fear. David didn't try to fight Goliath using traditional weapons like swords or spears. Instead, he used his unique skill set, a sling, and turned it into his greatest asset. Similarly, success often comes from playing to your strengths rather than trying to conform to someone else's mold. Are you a great communicator? Use that talent to build networks. Do you excel at problem solving? Channel that into innovation. While David's faith was rooted in God, the concept can extend beyond religion. Faith in yourself, your vision, or the collective power of humanity can fuel perseverance. Believing that change is possible, even when evidence suggests otherwise, is what keeps people pushing forward during tough times. David didn't charge blindly at Goliath. He studied the situation, identified his opponent's weaknesses, and devised a plan. In life, brute force rarely wins. Smart strategies, patience, and adaptability are far more effective tools for tackling giants. Take Malala Yousafzai, the Pakistani activist who stood up to the Taliban to advocate for girls' education. At just 15 years old, she faced a literal giant, an oppressive regime threatening her life. Yet, armed with knowledge, conviction, and global support, she refused to back down. Today, Malala is a Nobel laureate whose voice continues to inspire millions. Her story mirrors David's, seemingly powerless individuals defeating overwhelming forces through determination and purpose. Closer to home, consider entrepreneurs like Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx. With no background in fashion or business, she started her billion-dollar empire with $5,000 in savings and relentless persistence. Her giant was an entire industry dominated by established players, yet she found her niche and transformed it. What makes the David and Goliath archetype so appealing is its inclusivity. Believers see divine intervention guiding David's hand, while skeptics admire his ingenuity and grit. Regardless of perspective, the core message remains the same. No matter how daunting the challenge, victory is achievable if you approach it with heart and strategy. For believers, the story reinforces trust in a higher power. For non-believers, it highlights the importance of inner strength and resourcefulness. Both groups find hope in the idea that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things. If you're facing your own Goliath, here's how to channel David's spirit. Acknowledge the giant. Denial only empowers fear. Name your challenge and accept it as part of your journey. Identify your sling and stones. Reflect on your skills, resources, and support systems. What unique advantages do you bring to the fight? Seek allies. Even David had King Saul and his brothers cheering him on. Surround yourself with mentors, friends, or communities who believe in you. Stay agile. Be willing to pivot and adapt. Sometimes, the best way to defeat a giant is to outsmart it. Keep moving forward. Progress may be slow, but consistency builds momentum. Celebrate small victories along the way. The story of David and Goliath transcends time and culture because it embodies the human spirit's capacity to defy limitations. In today's fast-paced, often overwhelming world, reminders of our inherent strength are more crucial than ever. Whether you're fighting personal demons, societal barriers, or professional hurdles, remember, giants aren't invincible. They're merely obstacles waiting to be toppled by those brave enough to take aim. So, pick up your sling, steady your aim, and face your Goliath, because history, and countless modern-day Davids, proves that the smallest among us can achieve the greatest victories.